Despite the correction of the technology sector, Malaysia banking stocks are actually gaining strength thanks to the rising of the treasury yields. So in fact, these 4 Malaysia bank stocks are poised to break out from the accumulation structure. So in this video, you will find out how you can actually take advantage right at the key levels for low risk entry by just trading these outperforming stocks. So let's just get started now. So the first stocks that I'm going to share with you is CIMB. So CIMB Group Holdings BERHAD. So right now you can see at a first glance is currently have this kind of the great rally up followed by a rounding type of the pattern. So you might recognize it as probably cup and handle. Maybe the handle is forming right away. So anyway, let's take a look at the previous history. So we noticed that right after this COVID sell-off, so that comes with increasing of the supply, it just kind of still wasn't able to get back up, and in fact it just have another dip below this previous COVID low. But look at the gradual decline, like the grinding down action. So this is bullish in nature, suggesting that the down momentum is fading. And look at how the supply is getting lesser and lesser. So right after this kind of the spring, so it's just a temporary commitment below this previous swing low. So subsequently we do see a great rally out from the spring. So this is definitely phase C, and that has been confirmed by this kind of a sign of strength rally. So after that, it's kind of hit the previous resistance level and forming this rounding pattern. So while it's forming the rounding pattern, we can notice that supply has been decreasing throughout, especially during this portion right there. So we notice that the down momentum is kind of getting lesser and lesser. So you might recognize it via this falling wedge patterns or the shortening of the downward thrust, and subsequently is anticipating this kind of the rally followed by supply absorption process while holding again and eventually have another push up. So right now we do see some kind of the strength. So while a lot of the tech stocks are getting heavy sell off, this CIMB is actually holding up some gains and entering into the consolidation mode, and supply has been decreasing again. So again, I think in terms of the volatility as well, so this is a really nice place to just probably trade a long position to prompt the entry. So the green box that I draw up here is the immediate support area. So anything that within this box can be a nice long entry. Otherwise you might just wait for some kind of the breakout, but probably this is too close to the immediate resistance level. You might as well just wait for kind of the breakout and followed by another pullback. So whether you can just stay above the resistance or maybe just get back into test the support area right there. So it's totally fine as well. So anything within this green box could be a nice support entry, and with the stop probably below this 2 bar somewhere around 4.1. Okay, so this is CIMB. I think the immediate resistance level once is breaking out. So obviously this is the immediate swing high resistance, 4.75. Next level is 5 followed by 5.25. So you can see that this is a very obvious resistance level right there. So the structure is very bullish, and overall the supply doesn't really show any threatening signs. So everything looks good. Okay, so this is CIMB. So next stock is KENANGA. So I think KENANGA is probably the strongest stocks in this sector. So let's take a look at the previous history. So we can definitely see this huge accumulation range. So this is a huge courses build, and subsequently right after the sell-off from the COVID, so this is the COVID sell-off, So look at how shallow this type of the sell-off, because it's still within the trading range, and right after that this is acted as a spring. So phase C followed by a sign of strength rally up and a backup action, tested the previous resistance, now turned the support, and eventually it just reversed and going to form this again kind of a rounding or maybe a cup and handle type of the pattern. And once it's breaking out, it just have phenomenon momentum going all the way up. So this is definitely a parabolic run, so usually it's not sustainable. However, take a look at this. Despite the expanding of the volume and a lot of the supply come in as well, there is a vertical absorption on the way up, and eventually we do not really see a heavy sell-off. In fact, this is a very shallow type of the pullback and subsequently just entering into this trading range. So this is a change of character which essentially stopped this previous uptrend from going further and into a trading range. So right now it's probably not a perfect entry because it's kind of in the middle of nowhere, just in the middle of the range, so it's not near the resistance nor the support area. But I think it's wise to just put KENANGA in your watch list. So anything within this very obvious support area right at the bottom part of this trading range can be a nice long entry, and we can notice that supply has been decreasing, especially on this portion right there. So we have probably this is reacting to earning and spike of the supply, and subsequently we have another test and followed by dice down of the supply level together with the volatility. So right now it's just kind of have the feather type of the movement going up. If you can just come back to have another test and reverse from here, the support area, that could be a nice long entry. Otherwise I will just want to wait for a straightforward breakout trade. So wait for this kind of the breakout, or maybe breakout or pullback and reversal to continuation to the upside. Okay, so this is KENANGA. Next stock is RHBBANK. So RHBBANK again is sort of have a similar structure with the CIMB, but CIMB is a lot more stronger. In fact, I think they do have very similar structure right there. November rally up, so this is a very sharp rally followed by a change of character. So this is the greatest down wave that we've ever seen. So greatest down wave compared to this, that essentially just stopped this uptrend and into the trading range. So right after the change of character and also the potential reaccumulation via this potential maybe another cup and handle or maybe rounding, whatever pattern it is, in terms of the supply level, I think it's relatively healthy. So we do see some increasing of the supply, but not much results. So in fact, it's just a demand tail right there, and subsequently has been tested via this reaction, and the test comes with a decreasing of the supply level, and subsequently have another test with a higher low. So this is very healthy. And previous rally, this is very interesting because this is the first time that we have seen a breakout from the intermediate resistance level followed by a backup action. So the backup action right now is currently fall under this supporting area, as I draw up in this green box, somewhere around 5.4. So I think anything within this box is just buy right at the support level could be a nice long entry, with the stop, tight stop could be just below this candle, somewhere around maybe 5.2, 5.3, or maybe the swing low level at about 5.1. So somewhere around there could be the stop. So with anticipation to have a test of the swing high level at 5.8. So if you can just break out from 5.8, then I think we can just find a previous resistance level, maybe somewhere near 6 ringgit. so somewhere around 6 or 6.25, so this level. Okay, so the last stock is Public Bank. So Public Bank is another big bank. So we can see that in terms of the structure is very similar to the previous two stocks. So we do see this uptrend from November and subsequently entering into trading range right after this change of character, stopping the previous uptrend. So this is a very interesting spike of the supply tail that probably reacting to the split. I think it's 1 to 4 or 1 to 5. Let's take a look there. So it's 1 to 5. So previously it's somewhere around 20 ringgit, and now it's just about 4.5. So at the moment it's still consolidating within this potentially reaccumulation structure. So let's take a look at the supply signature. So supply has been relatively healthy. We do not really see increasing of the supply. So this is probably the largest reaction that comes with the relatively high supply level, but has been tested via this another reaction comes with a slightly higher low, but definitely the decreasing of the supply level. So since the exhaustion of the supply, we do see anticipated this kind of the rally, and right now is still having probably a backup action or forming this last point of the support. So there are two ways to approach this Public Bank. So the first is obviously this is a very obvious supporting area as I draw in the green box, so somewhere around 3.9. so anything within this box, if it can, provided it can retrace back to this level, could be a nice long entry because it's just right at this support or this support level right there. Otherwise, if you can just reverse from here, so I just draw a line so it can just commit above, so that could be the first long entry with the anticipation to test of this previous swing high level or breakout, and to test this another swing high level at 4.75. So this is the trading plan. So if you can just have a breakout and commitment above, that could be a nice long entry with the stop probably below this large momentum bar, somewhere close to 4.1 or 4.05. This is the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you'd like to learn more on how to increase your winning rate and also check out other outperforming stocks, definitely check out the video that's showed on the screen right now, and do remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel and also to get my weekly exclusive content updates for the trading and investing ideas for free. So the link is in the description below. Thanks for watching. I will talk to you soon.